What we want to do now is talk about layouts. Right now we only have one layout. As you can see, no matter what, we only have one layout we can choose. I want to make a second layout and show you the power of what layouts can do. So layouts essentially are windows in your house. If you're standing outside of your house and you look through a window, you might see the living room, and maybe you can see the dining room through there. And if you're at another window, maybe you can see part of the living room and part of the family room, and who knows what you can see from every window at every angle. That's kind of what a layout is. It allows you to have different views of your information. It's not the structure of your house, it's just a view into your data. So you might have one layout that shows you, in this case, if we go back to browse mode, this is really a form view. You're looking at one record at a time. What we want to do is show you another view of your information, which show multiple records at a time. And you might have a print layout that's specifically for printing, one that's specifically for finding. All these are different ways of looking at your information, and they have nothing to do with the structure. It's just ways of looking at your data. So let's go into layout mode, and we could go to the view menu and do that, but we also have this edit layout option here. So there we go. We're into layout mode, and notice that it also says exit layout here also. But again, you can exit the layout by just going to a different mode. It's up to you. So now that we're in layout mode, we can create a new layout. We only have one, as we showed. You only have one here. We only have, this is all dimmed out so we can't move around. So we're going to go up to the layouts menu and choose new layout/report. And this dialog, you'll become very familiar with it because you could very well have 10 or 20 or even 100 layouts in your solution because you want to view your information in different ways. Lots of layouts can often mean lots of sophisticated interface. So the first thing you want to do is figure that you read a dialog left to right, top to bottom. So the first thing you want to do is look at this. Show records from. What does this mean? Well, this is referring to your table. We only have one table, so there's only one choice. And actually, it's really referring to a table occurrence, but we're not going to get into that yet. All table occurrences refer back to a source table. And so for right now, you can think of this as a table. And so we want to choose the right table when you're creating a layout because that determines what records you're going to show. If you had companies and employees, you want to make sure you're showing company records, not employee records if it's a company layout that you want to view company information on. It makes a big difference, and it goes back to that word context we talked about. Now the next thing you want to do is give this a good name. We're going to call this list view because this is going to be a layout that we use to view more than one record at a time, and that's called a list view. Now you also have this little checkbox here. Now it's important that you understand what this checkbox does. It allows you to see that menu that we're making, the list view, from this layout menu no matter what mode you're in. We've showed it in several modes now. If you uncheck it, that means that you can only see that menu while you're in layout mode, or that layout under the menu in layout mode. It means it's a developer only access. So you won't see it in browse mode, in find mode, and in preview mode. It'll be like it's not there. But for right now, we're going to keep it checked. And then the next thing you want to do is take a look at these layout types. There are quite a few here. My favorite is the blank type. I use this almost exclusively. And you notice that the example here is blank. Now, for right now, we're going to show you how to use one of these assistants or wizards that walk you through the layout process. I like to create mine from scratch and use Photoshop and all my skills to create a unique looking layout rather than one of the ones that are just standard inside the FileMaker solution. Now these are just fine if you're starting out, but as you get more experience, you're going to use blank layout. So you have standard form, which is essentially what this is right here, a standard form. It has a header, a body, and a footer, and you notice how big the body is. That's because the body part is really the record. The header goes at the top, footer goes at the bottom. And that's more important, the header and footer, in printing, but it does play a part in, especially in list view. So list/report is your list or report. You can do a sub-summary report from here, or you can just do a simple browse mode list view layout. Then you have your table view, which is a lot like a spreadsheet. You can create labels from here, or vertical labels. You can do envelopes, and then of course the blank layout. And of course you can make all these layouts yourself if you want. If you know enough about FileMaker, these are just assistants that walk you through the process. So realize that when we're doing this, that it's just helping you out if you're a beginner in FileMaker. When you become more sophisticated, you'll probably build most of your layouts from the blank.